Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Death's Curios. So we're going to get right in where we left off last time. We left on quite the cliffhanger, so I don't want to waste any time today and get straight into it. But before we do that, we're going to go around, we're going to introduce everybody. They'll let you know who they're playing today, and then we'll get right into the game with a recap and picking up on the moment that we left it on last week. So we'll start just to my side. So that will be Delilah Berkeley. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Laura Lark playing Delilah Berkeley. Delilah is a noble lady who is very, very regretting that she brought her kid, but not as bad as I think Miss Fairchild right now. She's quite nervous. I send all my luck and love to Dr. Rook's dice. I hope that doesn't curse you. I'm very excited for this session. Whew. Getting
very good, and
goodness.
Our favorite half-vampire, who's totally not outed themselves multiple times to the entire group, Magdalena.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been very subtle. Mortals are stupid. They'll never pick up on it. So, no, I'm Lindy, and I'll be playing Magdalena DeVille. A, Dampier, eccentric artist. She is, at least, that much. And Chicken Boy is in trouble. So she's, mildly concerned. She's like, oh, I guess I should do something about that since I'm already here. So we'll see how that turns out and happens. I'm excited.
Definitely, and as am I. And speaking of somebody who's perhaps much less excited than all of us today, Miss Fairchild.
Oh, I am so excited for all the wrong reasons. I'm Shakespeare. I'm playing Miss Fairchild, who is a mourner and really regretting letting her son out of the house for the first time in his entire life. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Indeed. And Tilly Griffiths, welcome back.
Hello, I'm Humble6. I'll be playing Tilly Griffiths, who is very wary at the fact that every single party member decided to bring children to a place of a kidnapping. Not good. And I myself am in hot flushes due to nerves, so I literally have to fan myself, otherwise my head will explode. So.
Brilliant stuff. And Dr. Verrucht.
Hi, Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern. I will be Dr. Verrucht this evening, and it's fortunate that you guys have the world's peerless surgeon and field medic here to try to save this boy. We'll see. Electronic dice, don't fail me now.
Way to beat yourself up before this. I've never seen that go wrong before.
No, not at all. There is no such thing as hubris.
No.
Fly into the sun.
Hubris, what is? I mean, that's just another word for you're definitely going to crit this session, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So, and with that in mind, we'll go back to last session. The group attended a Halloween fair, which was, for the most part, going very well. Everybody was having a good time. There was apple bobbing. There was a very interesting circus show that they all witnessed. Tilly earned the golden pumpkin. And, of course, the rest of you had a decent time, though there was always this tension over the entire place about the fact that there was apparently a killer within your midst, somebody who is known as the Blue Cat, at least in certain files, who is an individual who has been kidnapping and seemingly murdering children from what you found. You all last session went into the haunted house after our Bok-blessed Cooper vanished, after Shushan and Sean informed you of the fact that they got split up and he's just not come back yet. You went in and managed to find out where Cooper was. You tracked down the area that Shushan and Sean mentioned. You went down some stairs that seemed to be in a niche within the wall of the building itself, this construction that was built for this area, and you walked around and down some stairs, avoiding a trap, and into a room where you solved an interesting puzzle, opening the far end door and allowing both Tilly and I believe Magdalena to step through and see Cooper sat on a chair as if at a tea party, with multiple skeletons and multiple, let's say, stages of rot on certain victims behind them. However, no killer to be seen. But at the end of the session, they saw a crossbow that had been set to fire within the seconds of them entering the room. And meanwhile, outside, Miss Fairchild decided that they'd been a while, and Havelock, her young son, and Miss Fairchild made their way through the niche in the wall and down the stairs, but unfortunately did not spot the trap at the bottom of the stairs, and tragedy struck as Miss Fairchild was going to die on the spot, but called upon the Devil's Own Luck to save themselves. And as they did, they heard a sharp, pained noise behind them and a cry as Havelock has been impaled by the spikes. They have withdrawn from his body, and he is left in Miss Fairchild's arms, bleeding out, and very much on the brink of death. And that's where we left last session. And Dr. Farouk and Delilah, you see the scene before you, the blood pooling around Miss Fairchild, covering her hands, her gown. It's an ugly sight. The smell of fresh blood very much evident on the air, and it is pumping out of the small boy. Farouk.
He just goes right into like army doctor mode, surgeon mode. He begins taking off his great coat. He's like, "Bring the boy here. We'll lay him flat. This is where we will work. You hold my light." And he, pulls out his wind-up flashlight and hands it over to whoever's standing right there, to Delilah. And he gets out his bag, and just starts grabbing what he needs to stitch the boy back up. So, yep.
And you get your doctor's bag out, you get everything set out, and you get ready to try and save Havelock. And as you bring everything out and get yourself ready to try, could you first give me a medicine check, please?
Yep. Boom, 21.
Very nice. So assessing his situation, first of all, before making any moves towards fixing the boy, making sure you don't make any foolish moves and prod and shift things you shouldn't to cause immediate death, you have a look over. And with your 21, you can easily determine that he is in critical condition. The spike trap was built for an adult. It was not built for somebody of that stature. It was around 1.5 feet out of the body before it retreated. It has gone through and through, and it has gone through all of the soft flesh of the stomach and out the shoulder. It's hit organs, multiple. The heart, from what you can see, seems to be damaged. And it also seems the lung is damaged. There's a whistling wheeze coming from the boy. And in addition to that, you can also see the hole that is in the shoulder is quite wide, and it seems to have hit some very vital arteries, you could say. In other words, on your estimation, it would take a miracle to save the boy, and even if you did, his life would not ever be the same again.
I think he would say something along the lines of, "The boy is all but dead. I will do what I can, but..." Then he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and gets to work. Tries to stop the major bleeding first, and then moves on trauma by trauma as best he can.
So this is going to take you quite a while, Doctor. There is suitable places for you to lay them down and to act as a makeshift table as long as Miss Fairchild will relinquish Havelock to your care.
Miss Fairchild is collapsing. When they moved Havelock to the doctor's coat, she just has his head in her lap and is just curled over him, just telling him that he was so good and so brave, and she's not paying attention to anything that's happening apart from that, because she knows death. She's not expecting a miracle. She's not expecting a fix. She just needs Havelock to know that she loves him and that he was good.
He does look up at you, and he does look very out of it. But he does try and speak, but can't seem to get the words out as it sort of wheezes out from his mouth. He tries, but he fails to say any words to you. But
She just stroked his hair back and be like, no. Hush, just don't try and talk. Just rest, okay? Just like when you've been sick, we're just going to take a little rest, okay? You were so good. You're so brave. You're always
And
so
Doctor.
good for me, sweetheart.
Okay, on 3, we move him to the table. 1, 2, 3.
You lift, you take him to the table, you pop him on, and you get to work. You've got a few things that you need to work on here in order to save them. There is, of course, the major bleeding. There is the lungs that are definitely damaged, and there's also the heart that seemingly has some damage to it as well. So, which do you prioritize first?
Well, we got to stop the heart is hit also, so the heart is bleeding itself. Oh, yeah, we got to start at the heart then.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a good sight.
Okay.
Okay, so you get ready for surgery. Do you give them any anesthetic?
Yeah. So who is available? Delilah and Miss Fairchild.
Delilah and Miss Fairchild. Tilly and Magdalena have disappeared through the closed, thick door at the end. You can hear nothing
Which
of
is
them and
honestly
see
probably a
nothing.
good thing with this amount of blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Maggie can't even smell it. That's how deep that door is. So you're all right.
Okay. I give like a cup type thing to Miss Fairchild, and I'm like, yes, stroke his head, keep him comfortable, lift the head a little, and just hold this over. I give him like a little ether ball, and count to 5, and then remove. Count to 5, remove, and make sure he keeps breathing. And that we go with that for her, and then Delilah's holding the light, and I tick off the way the priorities: heart, lungs, organs, bleeding organs last.
Okay, so you begin your surgery. And it's not ideal, but you've got your kit on you. You have enough to work with. You may be able to save them, but it will be very difficult, Doctor. And as you have 2 assistants with you, you won't be gaining any negatives because you've got a space to work with. It's not ideal, but you've got light and you've got an assistant to help out with keeping them going, even without your best gear here. So could you please give me a very quick medicine check, please, again?
The field medic perk that I took
Yep.
it lets me have
exactly. So you're
just like
good.
a real surgery. Okay, good.
Basically, that's why you can do this rather than having to get them back to a hospital. So.
Okay, good. All right. Pressure's on.
Okay, on a 16. You begin to try and work on them, but it seems to not be going too well. You manage to deal with the base issues that you're finding internally of at least the lung, but the heart is still a problem. You've been trying to fix that, and it's hard to deal with the damaged heart, especially something like this in a basement somewhere with only a kit that you've got in a bag. And it is not looking good, Doctor. You may attempt to get...
Fortunately, I'm a peerless surgeon, so if I fail, I get to roll again. So,
Yep.
Let's do this.
You are a peerless surgeon, Doctor. Let's hope.
Yep. Oh.
You do have second chances that you can burn.
I shall.
Okay. First, second chance, Doctor.
Fudge.
How much corruption do you have, Doctor?
2.
Can I tell how badly this is going? Like, am I getting a feel from the doctor that this is not going to work?
Yeah, he's swearing in German.
I don't speak German, but I'm guessing the tone would come through.
Yep.
Is there a dial on the ether thing I'm holding?
No,
Before that
it's
happens, however.
It's literally
Doctor.
like this and some cotton balls with ether on them.
Oh, okay. I start
Doctor.
slowly, like it's not 5 seconds anymore, it's 6.
Mm-hmm. Doctor,
Yes.
you have a moment where you take a breath. You try and center yourself, ready to give this another go. And as you do, things seem to freeze. The clocks continue, but they seem to tick back and then forward, back and then forward. And you look to Delilah. She has stopped breathing. She is still. And you see Miss Fairchild is the very same, and the blood from the wounds has almost stopped flooding out. There's bits that you can see dripping off the side of the table that is caught in midair. And it's as this happens that the door at the back opens, and you see a gentleman walk in with a very nice, bright white suit, with a black tie, white shirt, white jacket, and blonde hair that's swept back very neatly. And he walks in and looks around and looks a bit baffled, and then he sort of looks at you and goes to leave, and then stops at the door, and then turns back around to you. Oh, right, no, you're the person I was looking for. I didn't expect you to be in a basement somewhere, but hail, Doctor.
Wiedersehen?
Yes, you're German, of course, he says and smiles and switches to German. I believe it'd be best talk in your own time. They won't hear, of course, but it's polite, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah.
Good. That's great to hear. So you seem to be in a bit of trouble.
It's a boy more than me. But
Well, yes, he's dying, but I mean, kind of looks over and then takes out a watch from his pocket and flicks it open before he looks at it. Oof, yes, he's not got long. Closes.
So, and this is like really, the doctor is a man of science, but he has seen some craziness, so he's accepting this as like a reality, a paradigm shift of sorts. So
please take a seat, Doctor. He walks over and grabs one of the chairs and then spins it around to sit on it himself.
Okay, I sit.
We have all the time in the world.
Indeed, it would appear.
It would. Now, you are a peerless surgeon, are you not?
Correct. Yes.
Brilliant. Yes, seems you're having some problems with this, though, which is understandable. Peerless doesn't mean perfect. Just that you have no peers, so should be. This may tarnish your reputation somewhat.
It would mean
you
that...
have done a few things in your time, Doctor. You have evaded things that should have been far too many times.
All right, I agree.
Good. You should. It's true. So there'd be no option other than agreeing. Be foolish to disagree. Like that woman. But anyway, so he sits down and sort of straightens his jacket out and goes, I'm meant to give you a deal. Not really used to this. I don't usually do the deals thing. That's the other one. But yes. Bother, I don't. One moment, he says, and takes out a small book and starts flicking through it. Yes. Yes. He puts it away again. So, we have to have a cost, and then that won't happen. But you'll know it happened secretly, and you'll probably feel very inconvenient about that. But we need to have a cost, and I'm not entirely sure how to do this.
So one life was another?
Oh, that's a good cost. That is, I wasn't thinking that at all. I was thinking something like, I know, like, you'd lose like a lab or something, but a life is much more convenient and easier to do. So thank you for the idea, Doctor. So, whose life should we trade?
He laughs at himself because he's an idiot, but, all right. Yes, I mean, I'm sure the mother would give her life to save the child, but
Probably, but that's heavily depressing.
Yes,
I don't want to
yes,
come out sad from this.
right.
I'd not be able to do my day's work. And my days are very long. They're like eternity. So I'd be sad for a while, is what I'm saying, Doctor. So how about we get something a little less sad? You know?
I would gladly give you this maniac that we are stalking.
No, that's against the rules. You're stalking them. You're aiming to kill them or do something like that. I can't just be like, oh, I'll do your job for you. Doctor, come on. I'm already doing that with this, so let's at least get interesting here. He says and sort of sits back a bit more.
So, it is not fair to give that which does not belong to me. And my work is too important to give up my life for this child.
It is. It is, yes. I agree, Doctor. You're very important. Very important, Doctor. And Miss Fairchild being dead when her child would be alive is just too sad for me to have a good conscience when I leave here. And that's not really my thing. I need to feel good about things. Let me think. Who else is important to you again? Is there any that are on the way out anyway? Like old people or something like that?
He's only got 2 servants.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So, yeah, no. Boy, oh boy. I don't want to take extra time, but the doctor would.
I know. It's fine.
He would probably end up.
It's okay, Doctor. We can wait. The
The
others will be doing their thing anyway, so they won't be bothering us.
Probably let the child die.
That's just sad. It's very sad, Doctor. What about a curse? I could give you a curse, and then they'd live, but you'd be kind of cursed, so it wouldn't be great. But they'd live. You'd feel better. You'd sleep at night. Some nights.
I hate to say that the doctor would sleep anyway.
Yeah, I know.
but okay, as the devil's bargain, as long as it does not impede my work.
No. No, it wouldn't.
Can I ask what the curse would be?
He takes out his book again and looks through it. No. Sorry. It's against the rules.
For reputation's sake, then, I will take the curse. Well, I have one roll. I have one roll left, right? Even if I don't take
roll, but
I'm gonna take the. I'm gonna. Pass
okay,
on
no
the,
problem. So you gain the corruption of cursed. You also gain 1 corruption of your current corruption as well.
Okay.
But in return for that, you see the room almost reset itself as he sort of nods and smiles at you and takes out another watch and begins to wind it back. And you see the room almost every action that the rest of them took reversed, up until the point where you see Miss Fairchild at the top of the stairs as the door begins to close. And as that's reset and you know what's about to happen, yet there's some things missing. Tilly and Magdalena not in the room at all. You do see, of course, what's going to happen soon, unless you stop it. And it's as that happens that the gentleman in front of you sort of looks at you, smiles, and then simply goes, right, well, that's lunch, so have a lovely evening. Sleep well, Doctor. I'm sure you would anyway, and yes, I'll be the same, he says, and then walks out of the room, passes past the child and Miss Fairchild, ruffles Havelock's hair a bit, and then leaves. And it's at that point that everything kicks in again. And it's as that kicks in that we're going to go back to Delilah and Magdalena. Sorry, not Magdalena. Tilly and Magdalena. They're next to each other, so that's easier to say. Right then, so meanwhile, whilst all of this shenanigans is going on, and Doctor, you do gain 1 point of corruption. In your current corruption, you also gain the 2nd physical corruption path of Cursed. So,
Welcome to the club.
Magdalena.
You're the best. I love you.
Tilly. The two of you are stood in a room. You hear the ticking going. You see the contraption across the room. Chicken Boy Cooper is sat in the chair, very much bound to it. And you know you don't have much time to go until this thing is going to go off. What do you do?
Yep. I go to the crossbow with my inhuman speed.
You, so you zoom over to the crossbow. What about you, Tilly? What are you doing in this time?
I'm gonna begin to use some stunts, I guess, that I have. So I have fast aim.
Okay.
So I would like to very quickly try and aim at the crossbow string and make a shot just to disable
No problem.
the trap.
Yep, sure. So you fast aim up so you can aim in time for the shot. As Magdalena zoops across, reaches it, you're about to hear the mechanism go off and fire. And Tilly, you shoot. Give me your shooting roll, please, with your pistol.
Do I have a bonus to that? What's the bonus
Yes,
for
you
aiming?
fast aimed. So I believe that is a 4, if I'm remembering right. I haven't got it in front of me right now, but we'll call it a 4.
All right. 22.
Very nice. So you do manage to hit. Could you give me the damage, please?
Okay.
Let's see how much damage you do to this crossbow.
I've already. It's not really a body, so I can't really use lucky shot on it. I've already
No,
specified.
you can't use a lucky shot. No.
Lucky shot! Yay! What's the damage of a pistol? Is it
A
just
lot.
+5 or something?
Yeah.
Around
Oh.
5, yes. You should have it on
Around.
your sheet. Your weapons.
I do. Oh, it's +6. Right.
+6. There you go.
Just it's straight up +6. Sorry, I've not tried to do this in a while. I might re-roll that one. I
Maybe.
really did want to go off. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that one.
It's fine.
Please, please. Your worst every time. Fine.
Yeah,
you know
I've
what?
allowed it this time. But no, unfortunately, as you fire, it strikes it, hits it, and the mechanism seems to have weakened.
Yeah.
However, you then
Magdalena's
fire
going
and-
to cut the string as well. So.
Go ahead. Give a swing of your sword as the bullet
Yeah,
hits.
re-roll.
Swing your sword just before it shoots off.
You mean this trench knife because my sword is broken? I'm fine. So.
I think the trench knife is a +1. It will be like a dagger, so it'll be a +1 to your
God, roll
vitality.
better than me.
Ugh, that's way too many dice. All right, so
It might well be.
sorry, I just clicked like 8 of them. I'm gonna re-roll that a 9. Oh
Okay,
my
yeah, so
gosh.
you use a second chance.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do. That
Well,
is
please,
far
That is significantly better. So yeah, you hit.
please
You
don't
manage
roll
to aim it
higher
up,
than
you swing, strike just the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, and I already looked up the damage on it, so I get to add.
Yes. So
Okay.
vitality plus your knife.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be that, I think so. What?
do it.
So
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
gonna use
yeah.
the reroll because.
Okay, all right,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
go ahead.
add another 3 to that. It's still not great, but it's. I'm gonna just reroll that. I totally mathed that wrong because I forgot you had vitality. But still,
You do have vitality.
that is so much better.
That is a lot better. And as you strike, you hit it.
Goodbye,
and
rerolls.
As the bullet hits, and also your trench knife hits as well, you snap the crossbow in half with it. The bolt does fire, but it whiffs over Cooper's head. It takes a couple of the strands of hair off with it, but aside from that, he is alive as he kind of sits there.
Right.
It is fine, Cooper.
Wait there. Wait there. Don't move yet. And I just have a look at the floor. To see if there's any more weirdness, because this
I've
person's
already
clearly
ran across the floor.
Oh my god, please.
Because I don't have a ranged weapon. I just had a knife. I just ran over and.
No,
Yeah,
like
no.
between the chairs, I'm
It
having a
seems
look.
that
To
it-
see.
Oh.
At least on Magdalena. But between the chairs, give me an investigation check, please. So your forensic science.
Sure, I can. That's +4, I believe. Please don't go stupid. That's pretty bad.
Oh, there's nothing. Nothing at all. That would be fine to move Cooper.
As long as they are not wooden spikes, we are fine. Those
Is there
are
anyone
far
on-
more dangerous than metal ones.
Okay. Are any of the other children alive? I look around.
No, they're all not. They're all dead. They all seem to be in various states, various ages of being down here. In other words, some of them have been here for perhaps 2 weeks. Some of them have been here for years.
Oh my.
And they're all sort of sat in similar chairs. They're dressed up in newer clothes, almost like they've been redressed for a tea party.
Now, why would they steal Cooper? He's the chicken boy.
No, but you present yourself like a noble.
Well, yes,
You're-
I am.
This person steals noble children that are going to be influential for the future.
But he's not mine. I cannot have children, tragically. Maybe not tragically.
I don't think it's trapped, so if you want to go ahead and sort that out, I don't believe any of the other children
Trapped?
are alive.
Oh, yes, there was stair trap. I will take a look.
Have you got
And I'll be
forensic science?
I'll be keeping an ear out for anyone coming. Like, is there
Yeah,
another
not
person? Okay.
You hear most of the void of noise around you.
Did you want me to roll the check for traps?
Did you roll? Have you got forensic science?
I don't. No. I'm a princess.
Could you
I
roll
do
me
not
just a
have
wit check,
forensic
now,
science.
please? But
I
this will be
can
hard.
roll a wit check.
Oh, I could have
Okay.
rolled mine with my master investigator. God damn
Amori,
it.
no.
I keep forgetting this. Stupid.
10 is fine.
It's fine. Even more so than Tilly, you think this is fine.
Yes,
You
I am fine.
At the room.
So I walk over and I will just take the gag out of his mouth.
Oh, Miss Magdalena, why didn't you come and save me?
You did? Is it
What,
because you screamed?
You said like say Magdalena, and then you'd come, and then
I
you
did.
did.
And
Miss
I am
Tilly.
here. It worked.
It is, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Is there anything else you would like to tell me? And who took you?
I don't know them,
Well,
but it was weird. They caught sort of like I was very dizzy, and then I sort of got dragged down some stairs. I was blindfolded, but then when they left, they took the blindfold off, but only as they left. But I could tell you this much: quite pretty.
it was lady or pretty man or
No,
it's
no,
pretty
pretty
lady.
lady. Pretty lady, or like remarkably pretty man dressed as a lady, maybe. But I think it's pretty lady.
It could be.
Do you remember anything about what they were wearing, or maybe their hair colour, or anything like that?
They had blonde hair, blue dress, white
Blonde
frills.
Hair, big dress. Did I
Red.
recognise anyone like that in
No.
the crowd? Because I kept a very close eye.
No.
Blonde hair.
The
Big
crowd was
dress
a
with
big
white. I do remember every single face I saw, so blonde hair, blue dress with white frills and red lipstick. Interesting choice.
It is good choice.
Yes, but it is somewhat controversial to wear lipstick right now. Red.
Is
anyway.
it? I just wear it because it you don't
Yes, it
notice
hides blood very well. Yes,
It hides
but
dinner very well.
Mhm. No, it's more associated with ladies of the night to wear
Pizza.
quite bright
Oh.
lipstick.
Like she kind of looks at you like ladies of the night. Like,
No,
do you
not
mean
vampires,
vampire?
prostitutes.
Oh. Yes, but if you were wearing vampire costume and you were Lady Cooper, they would probably wear red lipstick too. And she's
I
cutting.
don't think she's dressed as a
ropes
vampire, he says, as you cut the ropes away.
No, but you
And it's
were
as you
you
cut sort of the
tiny
bottom rope
vampire.
down that you hear a clink, a smash, and then Magdalena.
Yes. I swear, this is wooden
So-
spike.
Now, how much resistance do you have to fire?
Oh, fuck me up. I don't have resistance to
Okay.
fire. I'm
All right, just checking.
pretty
You
sure
don't have
vampire are
vulnerability to it
afraid of
either.
fire, I think. in
I think
general.
most things are afraid of fire when it's thrown
Yeah,
at
I think it's that
Um,
vampiric instinct of like, oh shit, I'm really dry.
you. So it's as you hear that smash that you suddenly feel a whoosh of heat as an explosion of fire seems to kick out from underneath the chair where Cooper was. And still is sat. So I'm going to roll some damage on you.
At least he's untied.
Untied. At least there's that. So I'm just going to quickly.
I was really
roll
tempted
this.
just to lift up the chair and be like, okay, get the door. But she's too
Now,
late.
this isn't going to be nice damage. I'm going to give you that.
I imagine not.
Always forget how to apply the damage to this. So we're going to roll this. This is at a +5. So luckily, it's only enough to cause a flesh wound as the two of you are engulfed by this fire, and he kind of rolls out of the way just in time. It stop, drops, and rolls, and you hiss as the flames catch you. Luckily, it seems it wasn't loaded as well as it could have been.
I've had this dress for 200 years.
Your dress is ruined.
Ugh.
Oh my.
All of the heirlooms just getting destroyed today.
Is
Like half
everyone
the
alright?
skirt on the right side is just consumed by the flames. One of the
I
sleeves
mean,
is just
it is like a
gone.
300-year-old dress. I mean, it is a little dry. I can understand it.
Cooper just kind of runs off and starts rolling about on the floor, and then he's like, oh, that was scary.
You did not tell me they had flame thing on their chair.
Yeah, but Miss Magdalena, you were looking underneath the chair. I thought you caught it. And also, I didn't know about it.
I was not
Stop squabbling. We have to get out of here. Behave, both of you. And we need to find a way out. The person who set these traps are obviously very intelligent, and they're probably going to be back soon, with God knows what up their sleeve. We cannot save the rest of the children. They're already dead.
There are no
We have to get
sleeves.
out. Do you want to
So
coat?
notably, there is another door that leads off of here, and Tilly, notably as you look over the clothing and builds, none of them seem fresh enough to be the one you're looking for.
My particular quarry isn't here. Right. Do you know where they went, Cooper? This
Did
lady.
they go out the door or
Well, they went through the door, as far as I was aware. That's where they left him, her, and like another one, like a
Another one?
young lad. Yeah, like a young lad.
Right.
About same
Right.
age as me, roughly. Looked a lot better dressed than me, though.
Different coloured eyes?
Yeah,
You could not
yeah,
define
pretty
a
cool
dress.
Halloween costume.
You were
Right.
dressed as vampire.
Yeah, true. Kinda, he says. His cake burnt by this point.
It is fine. We can just say you got a little sunlight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right, let's go then. And I'll head off to the... I mean, so which way did he point that they went? Through the door that's, like, open?
There's another
Like,
door that is closed, off to
Yeah.
the other side of the room. You came in from the south end. There's one on the west end.
And that's where he pointed that they went?
And that's where he pointed they went. Yeah, it's the only other exit from this place, it seems.
Can you get the back door?
Did I lose a point of vitality?
No, you didn't. You took just a flash wound, so you
Just
don't lose
flash wound.
points.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Can you find a
No,
way
you don't.
to get the other door open, the back one, to see where everyone is? I know that... Well,
Hold on,
You
I
might-
will try. I go
Right.
over.
I go and begin inspecting the other door to see if there's anything
Hello.
going on.
Okay, so can you give me a wit check on that, please, Tilly? And Mag, you start bumming on the other door and nothing's happened.
Is it a
Really
perception
cold
check?
door. Yes, a wit check, perception, yes.
Great, fantastic. That's a +7.
And Magdalena, you're just knocking on this like sort of massive door.
15.
On a 15, everything seems to check out. It seems to be unlocked as well. It's a very simple door, just made of oak. And as you're knocking, we'll switch over to the other side of that door. As Doctor, we are back in real time. You and Delilah are in the room. Delilah, you know that Tilly and Magdalena just found a way through a door, you think? But they're not here, so that must be the case. They've vanished. The door behind you is closed as always, and the door that you know they're coming from behind you, Doctor, is still closed. And you hear the top step now that you're listening to expect it. Miss Fairchild will soon be at the bottom of the stairs, and fate will redo itself.
GM, quick question.
Just vanish.
Sorry.
Yes, Shakes.
With time going all wibbly wobbly and stuff, do I
Yep.
get my point of vitality back that I lost?
You do.
Yay!
Everything is reset for now, unless the doctor doesn't stop it, in which case the same thing will happen.
And did my spook'em pick up anything with what happened? Any shifts
No,
in
nothing
the
at all.
ghost sphere? No? Okay,
Nothing at
cool.
all, unfortunately.
Still just heading
Nothing
down
in the ghost
heading
sphere.
down the steps.
Alt, right there.
So the door
stay.
swings open, you see the doctor appear.
I
So-
immediately
so-
like stop and like cover Havelock, like looking around for
Sir.
threat.
So it's a trap right here. Step over.
And I will lift Havelock over the step.
Hey.
And basically like pass him to the doctor.
Yeah.
And then
You
I
do
will
so.
step
There you
down.
go. I take a
And you
hand.
avoid the trap. Both alive, Doctor. Both of them unharmed.
Do I get
And-
anything off the doctor with my spook'em or a
As you look at the doctor with your spook eye, you get a weird feeling off him. But it's strange, not ghostly. But for a moment, he seems different. There's something about him that's changed. He has a slight energy about him.
Send.
Okay, I just go and check Havelock and kind of look around for everyone else.
Havelock is
You're-
completely fine.
We will mark this somehow, and I look about for anything to like put on the stair or set
You've
by
got, like,
it
the
or something.
pictures on like the wall. You could probably just place a picture on it.
All right, there.
So you place a picture on it.
One would hope that's enough to remind us to not step here. And in his head, he's like, "I'm an idiot. What was I thinking? I should have let the boy die." You know, I've got that third level of consumed with my work now, so it's
Miss Fairchild knows nothing, but Shakespeare is very, very grateful. And she will be if she ever finds out.
Indeed. And Delilah, what are you doing in this time?
She's looking rather confused, actually. She's like, I swear Magdalena and Tilly were right with us, and they just kind of disappeared.
And could you give me a very quick wit check, please?
Me?
Yes.
Oh dear. Okay.
There is a knocking without the door.
15.
Okay. On a 15, you hear a very slight thumping coming from the big door. The one that you remember you had to turn the key backwards in the door behind you to open.
Yeah, she looks very confused. Like, does the knocking sound similar to like Tilly's or Magdalena's, or is this like just different?
You don't know. Everything seems fine. You're just hearing this knocking. It seems to be Magdalena.
Yeah, it's probably just Magdalena. That's fine. She kind of looks a bit confused, and will be like, "All right, I'm coming. I don't think you can hear me." Well, she'll go like, she'll kind of look over the doctor, like, you know, everyone coming downstairs, and be like, "I think Magdalena on that side." She'll close the door and turn the key, like, you know, the
And
other
as you
key.
turn the key, left hand behind you, it opens up again as you see the door sort of slide open again. And you see Magdalena on the other side.
Giving it the good old castle door knock that she was used to for, you know, a couple hundred years.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure it
Oh,
also
good.
slides open
You
mid.
heard me.
Yes, How did you
The
manage
two
to
of
disappear
you-
like that?
Magdalena and Tilly, by the way, you left after you saw the damage to Havelock. And Miss Fairchild and Havelock are completely fine and stood there.
Good work, Doctor.
Yes, we seem to have underestimated your skills.
I expected
Indeed.
more blood.
yes.
We don't have time for this anyway. We have to get on.
Blood?
So, oh, please cover the child's eyes. He says to Mr. Fairchild.
Cooper's already seen it. He's fine.
He is
Cooper, get a
the
good look
Mourner's
around
child.
you.
I think I've seen more shit, no offense.
Havelock
I
has actually
certainly
probably
hope
seen
not,
a weird
young man.
amount of dead people. Because I imagine mourners have like files and things and
Oh,
paperwork.
they do.
Yeah, so he's probably seen a fair amount of dead people in various stages of decomposition, and like
These are
photos
all-
of animates and things.
These are all
Or,
dead
like,
children. It's a bit
sketches.
different.
Yeah, Miss Fairchild is weirdly not nonplussed about.
Forget good look. This is what mortality looks like. It is very fleeting.
Yes, we are.
Enjoy what time you have. Just kind of,
I just side-eye the doctor again, like,
Mr.
Moving
Villain, you...
Havelock over to my side on the other side, so I'm between Magdalena and my son. It's like, no.
Mr. Villain, you confident going forward, or should I?
I mean, if you would like to go forward, I would not say no. My sword is broken.
Keep a
I can
sharp
give you
eye.
a knife if you like.
I have knife. It's just not the same. It's so much smaller, and it
Maybe
was my
dual
birthday.
wield?
It has lots of much sentimental value. My sword.
Right.
has.
Tilly just goes. Can't be bothered with this anymore.
yes, I'm
So
sure
fine.
it's
I don't
very
forget.
special to you. What year of make was it?
Oh, it was made in 1525. No, that's not right. 1575.
And you continue on as this conversation is going on. So
With
you go
family
over to
village.
you manage to open it up, and it slides open with ease. On the other side, you see another similar tunnel, carved of stone, seemingly, and it leads on for quite a while. And then there's a sudden twist that you can see at the end. You can see the slight turn. It seems to lead around somewhere.
Okay. Doctor, do you still have that light?
Yes.
Good. She takes it and she'll basically be checking down and leading on. She doesn't want to get any step on any traps, but
So you begin to walk your way through, and you begin to make your way around. And as you get to that edge and you begin to turn right, you see at the end of the hall, there seems to be a collection of what looks to be cogs on pipes and no other exit. There are 3 of them. Each pipe is colored differently, red, blue, green, and each one has its own cog.
green. Do I see the mechanism that they lead to?
You don't. It's just a stone wall, and then suddenly these 3 things.
Do I remember anything that I read in the previous room that would relate to these pipes?
You didn't read anything that related to pipes.
I will take out then my fingerprinting kit and begin to see where they've touched the pipes.
Can you give me a forensic science, please?
Yes, I can. And I remember I'm a master detective, so I can re-roll this.
You can if you fail it.
Fail. Yes, I'm going to re-roll it.
That might be a good idea, yeah.
Oh crap! Wow.
On a 9,
Wow.
however, you succeed.
Okay.
As you see, you don't need a fingerprinting kit. You remember that there was white paint that you saw on the cat. And you see the same white paint on the pipes and on the cogs. It seems to have smeared slightly on each of the pipes as they've seemingly twisted them. The direction of it is unclear. But they seem to make quarter turn on the first one to the right from what it looks like, or possibly the left. They've made one on the opposite side in the opposite direction, and one just seems to be a full circle, stopping at the top seemingly.
So there's a quarter turn one way and then the other.
Quarter
and then
turn
one
right.
The other one.
All the way, quarter turn left.
Mhm.
But the direction of the turn is unclear with your forensic science.
This is going to be risky. I suggest the rest of you get back, just in case.
Yes, I've already caught fire once today.
Well, let's hope it doesn't go that way again.
Me and Havelock are way back.
Yeah, you're way at the back with Cooper.
How does Cooper look? Does he look more
It's a bit
fragile?
singed.
Okay.
But he's
I will
alright.
stand
He's a
in
hard
front
guy.
of Cooper.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Look
Miss
at
Fairchild
you.
has picked up a sense from everyone that this is more of a threatening situation than she imagined, so she has both
I mean,
of
she
her
wants to go in,
Excaliburs
that's fine.
out and
Both
is
of
just
them out,
waving
okay.
two very large swords.
All right, no problem. So you're waving two very large swords, kind of ready to go. And
In preparation.
yep, no problem. So you're doing that, and the rest of you are back. Delilah, what are you doing? Doctor, what are you doing?
I'm Delilah's regretting that like she doesn't really have much of a weapon other than like a very hidden knife that she kept on her person a long time ago that she got as a gift from Mickey. She's like looking at Miss Fairchild like dual wielding swords like a badass, looking like super ready, and everyone's like looking like they're battle ready. She's kind of just pats herself down and produces a one really like fancy kind of dagger that can't be like any like bigger than this. She's like,
It's a couple
Like
inch blade.
something perhaps a little bit more utility based, and she pulls out a combat knife and just hands it over to Delilah.
yes. How do you use it?
Stick with the pointy end, I believe, is the common thing to say.
Yes, I've peeled fruit before. I think I should do that. I should.
Miss
Don't
Fairchild
peel,
is
come on.
Miss Fairchild has definitely adopted like
Well,
a
you
protective
can't
stance in
feel
front of
that
the
it's
two
called-
children and Delilah. They're grouped together now.
There's
Magdalena
Delilah
tries
and the
to
children,
feel.
the Fairchild in front,
You
ready to
can
go.
feel, but that is called flaying. It's a very difficult technique to master.
Wait, time is of the essence, people. Are you clear? Please get
We don't
clear
have
of this
time to
area.
teach you flaying. There is not enough time. Or bodies.
Ugh.
There's the best too.
Is the rest of them back while Magdalena's still talking? Because otherwise she's just gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magdalena's
Yeah.
back too. That's why
Okay.
she's
Oh, yeah,
talking.
we're all back.
That group.
And may I
She's
ask,
standing.
our cursed lot, what is your levels of cursed, please? One for the room. One for you. Okay, no problem. That's fine. I'll keep that in mind. Go ahead.
Thanks.
All
right,
right,
she's gonna-
adverse.
She's gonna flip a coin, and if it's heads, it's to the right. If it's starting to the right, and if it's tails, she'll start to the left because she doesn't know. She'll let luck decide. She'll let fate decide. Huh.
Sure. So the first one on the left, what direction are you going? This is the one with the right hand turn.
Right then.
Right?
To the right.
Okay. So you pull it to the right, and you hear nothing.
Then I pull it, as you said, to the left.
The same one?
I believe so, if that's what you said.
If you want to pull the same one, you're on the left-hand one is the one that goes on to the right-hand curve. So it's a quarter to the right on the left-hand side. If you've turned it,
Is it which?
to the right more,
Tell me which colour it is, because then I'll be able to keep track of them better.
it is red.
Right. So the red one, you do a
Red
quarter
right,
left.
quarter right turn is what you saw. You've turned it another quarter.
Okay.
Nothing's happened. There's been no sound. Green is a full circle.
Green full
And-
circle then.
And blue is to the left-hand quarter turn.
Okay, then left. All right. Green full circle, then left, and then I'm immediately going to try and roll back in case something goes off immediately.
Sure. And which way do you turn the full circle? Right hand or left hand?
There's no directional ways to see.
Not with your forensics roll, unfortunately. You have no idea of the direction with your 9.
Great. To the left then,
And what about the last one?
and quarter turn to the left.
Okay, no problem. So you turn all 3, and 2 of the pipes don't seem to do anything. They don't seem to be dangerous in any way. They just seem to stay silent. But the middle one seems to rattle for a moment before stopping. You could hear almost some sort of steam running through it.
Oh dear.
But nothing
Okay.
happens aside from that.
All right, I'll try it again then. Right, quarter right first.
Yep.
Turn the green one all the way round on the right hand side, and then the blue one left quarter,
Right,
and
no
see if
problem.
that works.
And as you do that, you hear all 3 of the pipes begin to rumble. And as you hear that, you see the door to the left-hand side appear, as you see a part of the wall seems to slide open. And behind it is revealed a pitch-black room that seems
Light.
very wide, and you can hear some wind running through it. And as you bring on your light, you look around, and you see what looks to be a very large open room. There seems to be some bones littering the place, and you can also see at the end of the door is almost a tunnel with a grate that seems to lead out somewhere, and it is partially opened.
What kind of bones? Are they human bones?
Human bones.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
I have no
All right.
problem seeing in the dark, so as I come up, do I see anything extra?
So with your eyes, could you give me a very quick perception check then, please, Magdalena? So wit perception, given you can see better in the dark. They've got a light, so they're shining it around, but yours are naturally attuned to this.
Okay, make sure.
And
Oh,
I'm
I
keeping
get a
my
+1.
spookum eye open.
Cool. So,
Your spookum's open.
Mhm.
18.
Okay, so as you look around with an 18, and you take a deep look into the room with your eyes, which adapt to the dark quite easily. The way that
I think they get one be like that, like how animals have that reflective sheen. She's got that in like the red.